Hi everyone, I'm back for another guest of Women of Community Banking podcast. I have Sam with me today. Hi Sam, how are you doing?
How are you?
Sam, I'm doing good. Firstly, I want to start the podcast by saying we are really sorry about what's happening out there in LA. Sam is based out of LA. Really sorry. We deeply, our deep condolences for the families who've been affected by this, and we wish a speedy recovery of whatever is happening. So I just wanted to start the podcast with that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Anurag. We have been getting so much love from, people all over, and especially in the credit union industry. It's amazing to see how everyone has come together just to support. So definitely feeling the love, and thank you for keeping us.
Absolutely, we are always there, Sam. Right now, who is Sam? Sam. Okay, first there's a backstory before talking about who Sam is. I was thanking my stars before the podcast that I finally got Sam in my podcast. We're talking. I think for almost more than a year when she was in Kinecta, and I've been chasing her. Sam, give me half an hour for that podcast. She was that busy. So finally, we could get half an hour in our calendar. So who's Sam? Sam is the Chief Operating Officer. She's joined First City Credit Union a few months back. Congratulations, Sam, on that, on your movement to First City.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so
Absolutely.
excited to be here.
Yes. Quick introduction. Sam has like what 26 years of experience in the financial services. Uh, Started a career as a teller at Wells Fargo,
Yep.
right? Spent almost 10 years out there.
Yep.
And suddenly the credit union bug did bite her. She moved to the credit unions. After spending 10 years in a big bank, she joined Connecta, spent around 15 years in Connecta, 15 plus years in Connecta, and now she is a CEO of a credit union, one of the very rare women CEOs I've ever seen in credit unions. So, Sam, firstly, I would like to congratulate you for achieving this feat, and I am really proud of what you're doing out there.
Thank you so much. What an honor, and thank you for such a great introduction. And I'm so glad our stars aligned, and we're here
Yes, thank you.
chatting. It's happening. So thank you, honestly. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to come here and chat with you, and and perhaps share my experience. So looking forward to this.
Love to. Sam, let's start with a customary question I ask everyone, right?
Sure.
What keeps you going?
Oh my gosh, so many things keep me going. First and most importantly, I have a 7-year-old son. He keeps me going daily. But the other thing that honestly keeps me going daily is the memory of my parents' sacrifice bringing me to America years ago, and their dedicated belief in education and hard work. That combined with my passion for serving Los Angelinos, right, in the financial industry, and helping people achieve their financial goals and dreams, because finances play such a significant role in our everyday lives, right? And being able to impact that is what keeps me going. Every time I hear a story about, our First City team members making somebody's financial dream comes true or alive, reignites my passion, and that's truly what keeps me going.
That means you're very purpose and passion driven, right? That's how
100%.
someone. Absolutely. Let's talk about your journey, Sam, right? I mean, both of us have an immigrant journey to talk about. Usually, everyone I talk to are first generation Americans, but you are not that. I mean, you were in Sri Lanka, and then you came to this country. You had to start from scratch, from ground zero, exactly like me. So let's talk about your journey, relocating from Sri Lanka now, being a woman of color, right? I mean, definitely immigrant plus women of color. Life is definitely not easy. It has been very difficult, I'm sure, right? So let's talk more about your journey. I would love, all my audience to hear about your journey, inspirational journey of starting as a teller of Wells Fargo to becoming C-level at a credit union. Would love to know that.
Absolutely. So I came here when I was about 8 years old. I didn't speak any English, but my parents early on really they were really focused on education, right? Investing in yourself. I remember when I first came to this country, because I couldn't speak English, the moment I got home, my dad would give us homework, right? The weekends, I didn't have the opportunity to play. I didn't understand kids because I didn't speak English. So he would emphasize staying home and reading and, doing homework. He was adamant about getting us up to speed. And those lessons, right, Anurag, as I've progressed in my career, hasn't gone away. Resilience, hard work, has always been what drives me. Again, like learning new languages, coming into a place where I didn't understand the culture, right? I never looked at it as something that was negative. I've always looked at it as something that was positive. It's obviously given me more opportunities, right, to work a little bit harder. But the way I look at it was I looked at it as a challenge.
Yep.
Is that something that do you relate to that?
Oh, I mean, like 100%, right? I mean, every single thing you talked about, the focus on education. I mean, whatever little I do or you do today,
Yeah.
it's all because of we owe that to our parents. Their focus on education, the focus on being focused, that hard work, that grit, that's the reason. And I think it's more difficult for you because you're in a role that's consumer servicing every single day,
Yeah.
right? I mean, that's pretty amazing. I mean, I feel this is a story that should go out and everyone should know about who the actual Sam is, right? I mean, people see the Sam that people see on LinkedIn, but a lot of us don't know your background, right? So this is quite relatable and inspirational, right? So now we spoke about your journey, right? Now, definitely, both of us have a similar background. Now, how do you feel after stepping into a C-level role? It took you like 25 plus years to get into a C-level role. Interestingly, my previous conversation was with Catherine as we spoke, CEO of another credit union back in California. Uh, she was talking about it took her 10 years to become CEO of a credit union. Right? Now, I was like, that's pretty long. Now, when I hear you, so it took 26 years for you to reach a C level. Do you think this struggle was worth it?
Gosh, 100%. I am really big on chasing happiness and not titles, right? So when you look at, when you say, oh, 26 years, that's a pretty long time, right? But throughout my 26 years, regardless of where I was, I have been truly happy. I have felt purposeful, and I have felt like I have made a impact in the lives I've had the opportunity to touch or influence, right? So when you look at it in that sense, absolutely, right? And today, being in this role or having the opportunity to serve in this role, it's both validating, but more, I feel I'm humbled. I have the opportunity to now take my experiences
Yes.
and help other people, but most importantly, help other women, right? Because I believe there's an abundance for everybody, right? There is room for everyone to sit at the table. And if I could help somebody or inspire someone to get into that room or help them grow, then I've lived my purpose. So today, as a COO, I'm extremely blessed to be in this role because I can make a bigger impact.
Yeah, that's the most important thing is, having that vision, right? And I mean, if I were to summarize this, yes, that struggle was worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. And there were so many lessons and learnings, right? I wouldn't be where I am today without those struggles because it shaped the Sam I am today.
I mean, absolutely. I might sound like a broken record just talking about struggles, but my next question is also about struggle. I mean, I want to just give an example of one of my struggles. I still struggle when I call my financial institution
Absolutely.
When I call their IVR, they do not get my accents. They still don't understand my accent. I've got thick Indian accent. They don't understand my accent. Or I have to still talk to my attorney to find my immigration status. Right? People look at Anurag, who's doing a podcast, but a lot of people don't know these are struggles that I have to go through every day. Just an example, I wanted to increase the limit of cash withdrawal from my ATM. I couldn't
Yes.
find on a map. I literally had to go to a branch to do it because IVR didn't even understand. They couldn't even put me to a contact center agent to talk to. And that's reality,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
these are not visible. So if you want to talk about your shares of struggle as an individual, again, that same journey, do you want to focus on a few more struggles? Not few more struggles, you want to focus on a few struggles that you had, and how did you overcome across those, right? That's maybe what people are looking for, because all of us have struggles, but how do you overcome across those?
I think it's about mindset, right? I think it's about perspective.
Yeah.
You can choose to allow those struggles to keep you down, or you could pick your battles, right? And a perfect example, Anurag, is that my first name is 𝗖𝗢𝗢𝗀𝗀, my middle name is Samantha, and my last name is Tate, right? As I've kind of progressed in my career, a lot of people have struggled with my name, from Samantha to Samanthika to now Sam, right? In the beginning, the fact that people could not even say my name honestly didn't bother me, right? And I could have allowed that to bother me and make it this own thing, but I said, you know what, I have bigger battles,
Big battle, right?
bigger battles to deal with. You know what, call me Sam. As a matter of fact, Sam is so much easier even for me, right, to write. So I'm cool with that. We're going to go with that. So I think, when you talk about struggles, right, every single person you encounter, you won't know the struggles that they're going through, right? We as human beings can choose to be kind to one another, but as individuals, I feel like you can choose to choose which struggle you're going to battle. But just to kind of, tie it with the IVR systems, right? And now as a COO, I have the opportunity to make a difference understanding those struggles. My dad has a hard time when he calls, right? Because he has an accent and he can't understand. Being in my role today, I get to take those obstacles and talk to vendors and say, hey, we have members with accents. Does your system pick that up? Or how can we allow a better member experience for our members? Because especially living in Los Angeles, right? We come from such a diverse community, and my job as COO is how do I make it easier for them? Not only for them, but also for my team.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Sam. I mean, a very real example again, I'm going to share. Today morning, I walked into a Starbucks.
Uh-huh.
They still don't get my name, and I'm okay with it. This is one of the battles which is not worth fighting, right? And this rightly summarizes there are a few battles that are worth fighting, few battles which are not worth fighting, right? And that's the way how you sail through, right? Absolutely. Now I want to ask for some advice, Sam, right? I mean, what if you have to share a piece of advice to Sam 25 years back, 26 years back, when Sam was a teller at Wells Fargo. If you were to share a piece of advice to that Sam, what would that be?
Gosh. I would say build your network, right? Ask for mentorship early. Continue to invest in yourself. Education, read articles, read books, raise your hand, volunteer for that project, right? Those are the things I would tell the 25-year-old Sam way back, right? And be who you are. Don't let anybody take that away from you, right? Being you. There's nobody else like you. So continue to show up, continue to be yourself, and continue to give it 100%, no matter what you're working on.
Absolutely. I want to maybe change the track to the current Sam. I mean, I know what your current role is. We spoke about earlier. But still, I mean, CEO at a credit union is a very wide and vast role. So I want to ask you, Sam, so what is your current role right now? And what is the vision and how do you plan to make a difference in the current role that you've stepped onto? Because that's a pretty, elevated role from where you're a vice president, from that to moving on to directly a C level of a credit union. So how do you plan to make a difference?
Sure. So today I have the opportunity to lead our branch network, our member contact center, operations, as well as our electron e-commerce and payments departments. I play a significant role in shaping my team deliver the best financial services to the people we serve. And at First City, we serve Angelinos. And my goal, right, is with every decision that I'm making, are we staying relevant? Today, as we speak, Anurag, finances are changing, right? The financial industry is changing, and banks are very quick to adapt, right? So my role is, how can we ensure that our members have, for example, the best digital experience, but at the same time, keeping that exceptional member experience live? I still believe that people want to talk to a human, especially when it
That's
comes
very
to
important.
those
Yes.
big decisions, financial
Yes.
decisions. People want,
Yes. Talk to
to
a
talk
human.
to a human, right? To get their
Talk
advice.
to a human. Absolutely.
And my job is to ensure that my team has all the right resources, the tools, and they have the necessary education to be able to give the right advice to those members that come and seek out for us.
I absolutely get you. So that's your vision of making a difference, right?
Yeah.
Uh, that's interesting. I know we are almost on the top of the hour, Sam. So I want to ask you about your 2 cents, right? You've spent like what 16 plus years in the credit union ecosystem. That's like hugely large, right? Now, where do you think is the movement going, and what are your 2 cents on the movement right now? And how does a credit union of tomorrow look like?
Um, I still think credit unions are the best secret, right? I think there's so many people out there that still don't understand how a credit union works and
Yes,
why
yes,
it's the best choice, right, when it comes to your money. For me, and when I think about the future of credit unions, right, I think it's a balance between digital innovation, connected with still keeping that personal touch. That's
yes.
why people love credit unions, because you get to, talk to the CEO if you want to. You get to talk to the COO if you want to, right? You don't have to go
Absolutely.
through this circle and never find them. You can pick up the phone and call your CEO if you like to. And there's so much power in that.
Yes.
So I think as credit unions, we must continue to be relevant, right? And that's adapting to digital and making it easy for members to find us, but also again having branches open so members can, if that's the
Yes.
channel that they want to come to, hey, we're still available to help you.
Yes. I think it's about finding the members where they are, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
changing the way how we look at servicing members. Sounds good, Sam. Across that same thing, right? Uh, Macroeconomic conditions are changing, right? Now, last there have been some rate cuts. You've been in retail forever, right? And obviously loans dried up last year, but I think this year, I mean, I'm personally seeing all credit unions working with me
Yeah.
are focusing back on loans, right? Almost all of them. So, how do you think is the macroeconomic condition? I know that both of us are no economists, but still, how do you think is the macroeconomic condition changing, and how will this have an impact on the entire ecosystem?
I think that yes, the economy is changing and where we are, right? But people still have needs, right? Whether it's an auto loan, right? Or it's a credit card with a lower interest rate, people
It's
still have needs. And that's where the credit union comes into play, right?
exactly.
We are able to give our members the best product when it comes to, interest rates, right? So
Absolutely.
I think if we continue to focus on understanding our members' need and helping them achieve their financial decisions, I think we will continue to win, right? The economy, the environment, it's going to continue to do what it does, right? But how do we
It's
stay
control.
relevant? It's uncontrollable, right? How do we
Yep.
stay relevant? It's by understanding our members and offering them products, right, that could truly serve them.
Yep. I think that's the most important thing, right? I mean, being focused to the goals that we are here to serve members and
Absolutely.
not to make money per se, right? So I think that that's the most important thing to look at, right? But
And
Sam, this was
sorry,
great.
going back to the, people helping people, which is our credit union philosophy, right? When you lead
Looking
with
people,
that, I think you
absolutely.
always win, and there will always be a need, and people will always accept us.
Well, absolutely. I mean, for an immigrant like me, I got my first credit card through a credit union. All of my friends in this country, again immigrants, bought their first auto
From a
through a
credit
credit
union.
union.
My parents bought
Got
their
their
first car from a credit union.
got
Yeah.
their first mortgage from a credit union. So, for immigrants, it's amazing, right? I mean, without credit unions, at least I couldn't have functioned. Let me be very honest, right? So, I mean, I'm so glad again, Sam, to have you in the podcast. It's an absolute pleasure. So, thank you. We wish you all the best for your current role, and always remember that we at WCB are really, really proud of whatever you do out there every single day.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for this opportunity, Nara. You rock. I
That's
appreciate
the Asian way of saying thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
it. Thank you.
Thank you.